In this edition of the Storm Report, the guys get a chance to sport their championship rings. Highlights of the Storm's big home field advantage announcement. Find out which Storm stars are back to defend. And learn about the pistol formation from Storm QB Will Cole with our brand new Storm X's and O's. The Storm Report begins right now. Welcome to the most watched video streaming series in southern Vermont and environs. The Storm Report, presented by your community pharmacy in Bennington and Manchester, The Pharmacy. And by Southern Vermont Today, news and lifestyle that is so Vermont. I am your host, Jeff Grimshaw. Up front, on the Storm front, the big announcement about the Storm's new home. And here are the highlights.
As you know, in seasons past, the Southern Vermont Storm has split its time in between New York and Vermont. We're here tonight to make the announcement that that will no longer be the case. We have a permanent home in Bennington for this upcoming season and beyond. Moreover, we are very happy to announce that the vast majority of our home games will be played at the venue we're going to be calling Storm Stadium at Willow Park. We want to thank Stu Hurd, Dan Monks, and the entire executive staff of the town of Bennington, and especially for moving forward at lightning speed. It really just taking the ball and run with it. This innovative move will surely benefit all phases of Bennington possible. We would be sorely remiss if we don't thank Bennington Select Board member Jim Carroll, who has served as an unstoppable cheerleader through this whole process. You know, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, Jim, for that.
But here's the bottom line for me. As a candidate, when I first ran for the select board, what was most important to me was trying to bring more business into the downtown. And what I want you to leave here with is that this is a winning strategy for the town of Bennington. The Storm wins, the town of Bennington wins.
As an owner of this team, it's an organization that everything we do from now on is going to be of championship caliber. I'm proud to say that Willow Park is going to be the new home of the Storm, and it's been so long overdue that this team deserves something like this. With the team and the Storm and everything being at Willow Park, we can finally invest back into the field and in the town and give something back that I don't think anyone else really has the opportunity to do so.
This is a great relationship. It's the beginning of a relationship. I think we can only make it better as time goes on. And we look forward to many years of the Storm being a champion here and being a home in Bennington, Vermont.
And more big doings on the Storm front. Recently, the team received their championship rings. Let's give you a glimpse at that Storm celebration.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see, gotta put it on. Show me that ring, baby.
Billy, what's happening?
You do it this year? You do it?
Josh, come on!
Where's mine?
Nice, look at that. See if woo, like a glove, baby. Harry Snyder!
Mr. Briggs. Thank you.
Champion! Put your hand in there.
Oh man, that was
Goddamn mouth. What is that? Hold on. Come back. John's like, get out of here.
more great news. The team had its annual Stormy Awards celebrating the very best of the best from this past season. Here's a sneak preview of a brand new Stormy Award category.
All right, so I got the next award. This is a new award. This past year we've had a ton of supporters. One stuck out more than anybody, And this the first ever supporter of the year goes to Southern Vermont today.
You know, as managing editor of Southern Vermont Today and being with the Storm, I want to thank the Storm for such an illustrious honor. Soon we will present the 2008 Stormy Awards in their entirety. And this just in from the Storm, thanks to you and only you, viewing levels have been colossal for the Storm Report, averaging over 7,500 views on Facebook alone. We thank you, and we hope you keep coming back for more and more of the Storm Report. Last piece of Storm business, and this is just for kids. Later this spring and into the summer, the Storm will be staging the very first Southern Vermont Run, Pass, and Catch competition. Now, bragging rights and trophies are on the line for kids aged 8 through 13, and it's free to enter courtesy of our presenting sponsor, the pharmacy in Bennington and Manchester. Coming up, Sup Sip! Storm manager Chris Sipperly will outline more big doings with the team in just a moment.
Southern Vermont Storm football is sponsored by the official hotel of the Storm in Bennington, the Paradise Inn, Kenworth Northeast, heavy and medium trucks and parts, JC's Tavern in Bennington, where the Storm is always brewing, the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce, serving the Shires, and by JC Tractor, sales, repair, and restoration in Hoosick Falls, New York.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Sup Sip, featuring Storm GM Chris Sipperly. All right, welcome to Sup Sip. Okay, you just had a big sup. Tell us what has happened.
We finally have a home here in Bennington, and it's been a very tough secret to keep for the last week, but I'm very excited to be able to say it finally. So.
It was a tough secret. I wanted to leak it, but we were good boys, and it was great. And it was a great event that we just had, and the banner was here, and Stu Hurd, the town manager, was here, and Jim Carroll, select board member, was here, and Southern Vermont Today was here, and it was big.
It was a huge event for us. It's just, again, it shows the amount of support this team has. We've seen it year over year, and every year they have, it seems to grow a little bit more. This year, it just seemed like the timing was right for all parties involved, and we got it done. We couldn't be happier. All
right, speaking of getting it done, you've had some great news for people on the signings front. Tell us about what's going on. Team is coming together.
Yeah, it's coming together. I would really encourage those that want to play come out and sign up very soon. Because the fact is there's only a certain amount of spots, and before you know it, they'll be full. And I hate to see anybody that wants to play not be able to play because they waited too long. So get there. That's my best advice.
All right, and we've got sponsors. We'll have those soon, but some new ones soon, but they're coming in over the transom.
Yeah, well, again, it just shows the support this team has, and now being able to go to local businesses here in Bennington and say, look, we're home. I no longer have to say, answer the question of where do you guys play? I don't know. That's not a problem anymore. So I think it's a win-win across the board.
All right, we talked about this last show, last Sup Sip, where you were a month ago, and you thought, yeah, we're ahead in some and behind in the other. Where are you now?
I think about 3 steps further than we would have been last year at this time, mostly because, we have league approval for our home dates already. We're not even in March. We're not even halfway through February yet. So I feel like that's a huge step forward, because now we can plan those events and really make things happen.
Hey, Chris, thanks for being in your edition of Sup Sip, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Hey, what do you know about offensive formations? Now get set to learn with Storm quarterback Will Cole in our brand new feature, Storm X's and O's, when the Storm Report returns right after this message.
Play with the champion. See an entire home preseason, regular season, and playoffs of slam-bang Southern Vermont Storm football from brand new Storm Stadium at Lower Willow Park. One low price puts you right in the game all season long. For your Storm season tickets, click on Shop Now on the Southern Vermont Storm Facebook page, or for more info, email us at southernvtstorm3@gmail.com. Southern Vermont Storm football at Storm Stadium at Willow Park in Bennington for Bennington.
Now it's time for our newest feature so we can all get smarter about football. It's Storm X's and O's with Will Cole. Will Cole, welcome to Will Cole's X's and O's.
Thanks for having me.
This is your bit.
Yes, I'm excited.
All right, we're going to talk about the pistol formation.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of people, they don't know the difference between, say, the standard shotgun and the pistol. Can you enlighten us?
Yeah, let's start with the pistol. Pistol, you're about 3 to 4 yards back behind the center, and you can either have a running back behind you or to the side, or both. Mm-hmm. And the shotgun's usually 5 to 7 yards with a running back to either side of you. Okay.
I should mention that Will is the starting quarterback for the Southern Vermont Storm, and you know him from what we call the Miracle at Mount Anthony Middle School, where he threw it and Marcus Anderson caught it. And
I still get the chills from it when you say it.
Yes, I still get the chills watching. Let's watch it about 5 times.
I love
together.
it.
Okay. All right, so that's the difference, that the pistol is closer, so it's probably how it got its name. I have a trivia question for you.
All right.
All right, and you might not be old enough to know this. Do you know what NFL coach developed the pistol?
I want to say he was a Falcons Falcons coach. I can't remember his name.
Good. He's good.
He also started like the Red Gun or whatever it was called.
Yeah. It came out of the Red Gun, and Jerry Glanville.
Yes.
Very good.
Yep.
I'm going to give you full marks for that.
I mean, I did some studying before I came.
All right. How does the pistol, and we'll have graphic support on this, how does it support, say, the RPO? Let's talk about what the RPO is first.
RPO is a run-pass option. It's seen a lot nowadays in the NFL. College is starting to get into it more, but I actually would love to start running the RPO ourselves. It makes the defense stay on their toes. Have no idea what's going to happen. It's all read-based, and it's very hard to defend.
Right. So some call it the read option, and some call it the RPO. So there's the quarterback has, basically it's the old triple option where you can hand it off to the first back through, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's the second option?
Second option is you pull it, and you can either have, if you have 2 running backs, you can pull it and go to the second running back.
Right.
Or you can run it and pull it out and pass it.
Right. So once you pull it, if you pull, you're kind of going parallel to the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
Okay. Or you can cut in, or if you see a gap, you can cut. So there's
many
more
options.
You've got like a dozen options.
You can pass it, you can run it, you can quarterback run it.
And you can pitch it if you've got a trailing back.
Yep.
And now there's a new wrinkle where you can do an inside, you can have that a back veer in and do an inside shovel.
Yep, yeah, and there's jet sweeps for the wide receiver.
And a jet sweep.
It's endless. It's endless.
Okay, how do do we see you on the defensive side of the ball ever?
I wish. Only defensive I do is kick off and
all right.
They start running towards
Yeah,
me.
I should mention that this guy put was it the semifinal game? You kicked a 43-yarder?
Yeah, something like that.
43-yarder, and that was a 3-0 game. So
that was a great game.
It was that. I'll just ask you one more thing, just because was there any thought before you threw that pass to win the championship of you kicking a field goal to tie it?
I was thinking that we were going to kick the field goal. I mean, I know it was risky, and it was like a 60-yard field goal maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kicked it before. Never in a game, just practice, messing around. But I'm glad we didn't.
And he's a straight-on kicker.
Yeah.
Like Toe Groza. And you're like, who the heck is Toe Groza?
Yeah, I got a lot of distance with the kicking with the toe, but not much accuracy.
Okay. So I've been talking with GM Sip, and he says he said, yeah, we might run the RPO the out of the pistol. And maybe we'll do something else. There are other options. There are other formations to run that out of.
Yeah. We got a lot of wrinkles in the offense.
Okay, so we were talking about off camera. There's the old wishbone. Everything old is new again. So the old wishbone, where you have 3 backs.
Yeah, that gets things real interesting.
Yeah, and it's in a wishbone formation, and we'll show you that graphically. And the closest back is the fullback is the closest, which is kind of crazy. It's a misnomer. And he can come through like an A gap.
Yep.
One of the A gaps, and then you can pull it, and then you can start a pitch and you've got a lead blocking back, and then you've got a trailing back.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, like I said, endless opportunities, endless.
And then if you take away, because I lived through this is the only reason I know this, if you take away the fullback and you have a 2-back, it's called the veer.
Yep.
Okay, because they can veer that way.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
We did a little bit of that last year. We got away from it. It was a little confusing for our guys, but
Again, the pistol, the RPO, wishbone, the veer, a lot of formations, a lot of options. We wish you the very best.
thank you.
And we'll be back with more X's and O's with Will Cole in future editions of the Storm Report. Thank you, Will.
Thanks for having me.
We thank you for watching this edition of the Storm Report, presented by the Pharmacy in Bennington and in Manchester, and by Southern Vermont Today, news and lifestyle that's so Vermont. We also want to thank all of our other Storm sponsors, and we remind you that if you want to get in the game and sponsor the Southern Vermont Storm, we'll make your move right now by emailing us at southernvtstorm3@gmail.com. Well, that's it for this edition of the Storm Report. I'm Jeff Grimshaw, reminding you to play with a champion, the Southern Vermont Storm.